Hope you're all doing well. I'm feeling better, Conan. As Conan's having back spasms, the first sentence is hope you're all doing well and hope you're feeling better, which is like what a mush that was, right?
For sure.
How's the Hall of Fame speech coming along? By the way, that is a good question. Let's just say, and I'm gonna do the rest of the email, but how is the Hall of Fame speech coming along?
Well, until WWE announces it, I won't be doing one, so they haven't announced it.
Anyways, you've already heard Bobby might do an open challenge at Mania instead of working Bray Wyatt. A few people have mentioned this, and frankly, I agree. Do you guys think that Bron Breakker accepting the open challenge and going 50 minutes with Bobby Lashley would be a great way to debut him? Alternatively, people mentioned that he should win the U.S. Championship the night after Mania from Cena or Theory to debut at the Big Splash. Would this make the crowd potentially turn on him if they felt he was being overpushed? Everything you said there is potential. Like Bron Breakker, I don't know what they're waiting on with him. You know. And then, honestly, this is a very weird Mania because there's like 6 things I'm interested in. But there's going to be like probably like 12, 14, 15 matches over the 2 days or something. But like all I'm really interested in is, of course, the 2 Bloodline matches, the Logan Paul. What else am I interested in here? I'm interested in Brock and Omos, and I'm interested in Theory and Cena. I'm not that interested in the 3-way Intercontinental thing with Gunther because that's
no.
Just the build wasn't really personal angles. It was just let's have matches to qualify and
that's like up your alley kind of match. Though it's going to be 3 big dudes, and those guys.
Yeah, but I'm not invested in who's going to win because I don't know.
You're like just I said, not invested in the match either. You are.
I'm not as interested. Right. All right. You got any comment on this email, Conan?
Look up the WWE matches, Joe, because I don't really know them all, or maybe I do and I forgot. And I'll tell you, me and D, I can tell the people which we're interested in. But anyways, I think it's a good idea to bring him in on an open challenge thing because obviously they're probably not going to do Bray Wyatt because I guess he's got mental health issues. So that's a good idea. Just do an open challenge. I think I only seen Bron like twice. Everybody really likes him and puts him over. I thought he was still kind of green. Mm-hmm. But, he's going to be a star for sure. I don't know if bringing him in and beating Bobby Lashley is what you want to do. But I would have him have a great match with Bobby Lashley. Because he's very athletic and he can go and he's got good charisma. And so I'd have him really good match with Lashley, but at the end, Lashley's over.
Next is
the WrestleMania matches. There's 12 confirmed, apparently. You got Rollins and Logan Paul.
Yes.
Disco, you're interested in that, right?
Great build.
You already said it.
Yeah. Reigns versus Cody. Yes.
Great build.
Charlotte versus Rhea.
Not interested.
Kind of on the. They haven't done.
So let's talk about Rhea Ripley.
They have done.
Did you hear this controversy? This she tweeted about. Joe, try to find the tweet.
Mm-hmm.
Well, while you're after you go through this thing, because we'll come back and talk about that.
Okay.
Right. So
next,
Rhea. Let me just say real quick. Rhea and Charlotte, to me, they have not done a good job building to this match, but I will watch because I think it's going to be very good.
Okay.
Bianca versus Asuka.
Completely.
I don't care.
Brock Lesnar versus Omos with
very interested to see how that Brock Lesnar's never really had a stinker. I'm curious to see what happens here.
Yeah, I think they'll do a good job of booking this. I want to see him, suplexing this guy because that's going to look great. And I want to see what is it that he's going to let Brock do to him because, Brock's very picky about what you do with him, especially somebody that doesn't have a lot of time in the business. But he's got to give him something, you know, so I want to see what that is.
You already commented, but Gunther, Drew McIntyre, and Sheamus.
Yeah, I'll watch that.
Yeah. I'll watch it, but I'm not.
Yeah, I'm not invested.
Right.
Theory versus Cena.
Like it, yeah.
Becky Lynch, Lita, and Trish versus Damage Control.
Completely not interested.
No.
Edge versus Finn Balor in a Hell in a Cell.
It'll
it's a Hell in a Cell
match.
Yeah. I didn't know it was a Hell in a Cell. I'm interested in that now. Yeah.
Edge will bring it, but they haven't done a real good job of building that up either.
Ricochet and Braun Strowman versus the Street Profits versus Alpha Academy.
Completely not interested.
Okay. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus 3 teams to be determined. So
No, it doesn't matter who they are.
yeah.
Right.
Usos versus
That's
Owens.
another team they just threw together.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, they always do that with Liv. Remember when they was whatever happened to this girl, Aaliyah? Remember?
Hmm.
You remember her?
Yeah.
That she was Raquel's partner, and she would pick her up like a little doll. And I was like, what's going on here? Go ahead.
And then you got Owens and Zayn versus the Usos.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Interesting.
Not listed, but heavily rumored.
All right, hit it. Let's go.
Sorry, I just had a brain fart. Ray versus Dom.
Oh yeah, of course, they're definitely one of the more things I'm interested in. Also, aren't they going to have a? Don't they always have a battle royal?
It sounds like they're not doing it.
Good. Interesting. All right,
Nothing.
So you want to go over this Rhea tweet?
Yeah, let's hear it.
So Rhea Ripley about autograph seekers and all that tweeted. People need to respect that no means no. At airports, do not follow me outside. Today has put me off completely. I will not sign anything that isn't a personal photo of us anymore. Hate me, I don't care. Disagree with me. Try putting yourselves in our shoes for one day.
Yeah, well, I put my shoes in yours for one day, and I've never had a problem signing autographs. That's very just because you've had a couple bad interactions with people, don't demonize all this whole bro. Sometimes fans like they go out of their way to get their dad to come and bring them to a place to. It's hard to meet these people. You know what I'm saying? It's like I don't. John Cena supposedly signs for everybody. And like these people that are like complaining like don't ask me for autographs and stuff like don't hate me. You know what, they used to call these girls divas, and that shoe fit. To be honest, like Sasha Banks is the same way. These people are complaining about signing autographs. And it's like, look at the opportunity you've been given, like to be able to perform, on TV for a living and become a star. It's like you don't want to sign. You're complaining about signing autographs. It's like, come on. It's like just because I've had bad interactions with idiots, drunk, wanting autographs, yelling and screaming. But I'm like, that's part of the bell curve of the type of fans you're going to see, like on these, that come and want your autograph. But like complaining. Like it's very off-putting to me when they complain about autographs. It's like, come on, it's part of the job. Like there's famous athletes that sign for everybody that make way more than these people. So I don't know. What do you think, Conan?
So there was a time in Mexico.
Pull your mic down.
Yeah, there was a time in Mexico, and what I'm about to tell you is a shoot where I could not go out in public without being. Bro, it was ridiculous. I couldn't go to the supermarket, to the bank, to the airport, nowhere. And there just came a point where I just started not giving autographs because that way, once they see that you don't give an autograph, people say, okay, he's not giving out autographs, and they leave you alone. And then I had told this one wrestler a story that happened to me that I had waited. I remember I told you I used to work at the Orange Bowl?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I worked there during a Super Bowl where it was Pittsburgh versus Dallas. And I remember I waited the whole night for Tony Dorsett to come out. And he came out and he was like, yeah, I'll give you an autograph. Wait a minute. And he went right into the bus. And bro, I was super and hurt. And so somebody related that story to me. And so it's the same thing. Obviously, there's some people are trying to make a profit off the pictures. How much money could they actually be making? Look at how they're usually dressed. Okay. And that's number one. Number two, part of the reason you get it, because I remember when I first started, one of the only things I wanted, because I really didn't know that much about wrestling, because it was back in the day where everything was still kayfabe. And I just wanted somebody to ask me for my autograph. I just thought that was the coolest thing. And so people are asking because they admire you. Like Disco said, somebody, they took the time to put pictures together. They got a ride to the place. They're waiting for you. Maybe your plane is delayed. They're still waiting. And those are your admirers. Yeah, there's some people that are doing it for profit, but some people don't know how to act when they meet famous people. They just kind of go, you got to have a little bit more empathy for your fans, dude.
Right. So this is an interesting one. So
and the worst part is, bro, is that she actually publicized this.
That's the thing. This should have been. This is nothing to publicize.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, you have a bad interaction with some fans. It's like,
well, it's her way of telling all the fans, I'm not giving out autographs.
Right. Yeah. Don't bother me anymore.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Not a good
because
look.
of these people, right?
Yeah, not a good look. Yeah.
Right.
Well, at least she's a heel
The
too.
WWE always said doesn't matter if she's a heel or not.
Well, the WWE, there's this thing because Billy was posting. This is all
Unless
the
you stay
WWE's
in
fault because
character, unless you stay in character 24 hours like MJF does,
uh-huh.
there's no reason to be making
Well,
those type
Well,
of
but yeah, but
comments.
I
the
mean, when
WWE
Sasha tweeted things similar, she was a baby face, and it kind of led to people, like a
Both are
groundswell
wrong.
of,
Doesn't matter if
yeah.
you're a baby face or a heel.
Well, the WWE also now is like selling autographs online at exorbitant prices. So
And
it's
at the
making these people
shows,
think that they shouldn't be doing this for free.
right?
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't know. Yeah, whatever. Bro, here's the thing with the autograph. Just your basic fan, the autograph is an invitation where I can actually present myself to you and meet you in your personal space. Like I can
Right.
shake your hand. Like this is my chance to wow, I get to meet this person. Hey, can you sign an autograph? You know what I'm saying? It's like you sign the autograph, you share a moment there. Maybe you're gonna ask him a question because when I do autographs, when people come to me, I would always say, hey, who's your favorite wrestler? I would exchange conversation with them because I know that's what they really want to do. Is if you're meeting somebody and getting there, you'd like to talk to them. You know, that's a guy on TV. Boy, I'd love to ask him this. So I would ask the
Bro,
person.
that's how the
who's your
Young
favorite,
Bucks got over. Because I was at Teddy Hart had done a show in Canada, and they had those where you sell your pictures in. I forgot the name of it, but there were a whole bunch of wrestlers there, and a lot of wrestlers just going through everybody. Next,
Right.
next, and they would stop, ask you your name, how you do, and chop
Right.
it up with you.
Right.
You had to wait a little extra, but every fan didn't give it because they knew they were going to get to talk with these guys.
Right. Yeah.
know?
You're just, bro. There's zero effort.
Right.
It's like there's nothing. How hard is that, right?
Right.
It's like
You're
Jesus,
making money off of this, and sometimes you're getting paid. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
By the promoter. I
Yeah.
mean, but here's a funny thing, Disco. This is how life is funny. I 100%. I'm gonna keep it a buck here. I can tell you that when they're off TV and they're no longer famous, they're gonna wish somebody asked them for an autograph.
Right.
Yeah.
Next is from George Parra, and the subject is mailbag. Hey guys, George from Vegas here. I've always been one to think that the top guys who cut a promo, draw ratings, who look like actual stars should be champions and main eventers. In the past few years, it seems that if you work for the company for years, in some way, somehow, that means you deserve it. For example, Kofi Kingston, the man has been with WWE. Kofi Kingston, the man has been with WWE for 15 years. Yet the man can't throw a good punch. Promos are decent, but can't be taken serious as a as a man, let alone a fighter. I disagree with that. Yet he was a deserving of a championship based on his tenure. Tenure or not, do you agree that how long you've been collecting checks should not determine whether you get a strong push or not? Now, you're
wrong.
pull your mic down.
Yeah, I agree.
I think this guy's wrong because this wasn't based on tenure.
Right.
This was based on the fact that the whole people, like they've done with Bryan Danielson, with CM Punk, they decided this is the next guy that we want you to make. And it isn't his fault that they did nothing with him when he was a champion because the people loved him. Because I remember specifically going to a Dallas WrestleMania. I don't know what year it was, but I remember it was in Dallas and I was outside. We were going to go watch a WWE match. And the fans were outside screaming before the show and after the show. Nobody but New Day rocks, New Day rocks. And there was a bunch of their shirts everywhere. And I was like, wow, these guys are really over,
Right.
and they got over to two people that are very big in the WWE community. They're massively over with the nerds and with the subset, the black nerds. Because when I was growing up, I really didn't remember meeting any black nerds, but it's like a new thing here, you know what I'm saying? And they're mega over with that crowd especially.
Well, I'm gonna
it
give
wasn't
just
10.
slightly.
Kids.
Let me
he
say
was-
something here first. I have a little bit different perspective.
Yep.
Because when this was going on, the ratings weren't good. The show
Right.
wasn't good, but Kofi Mania was like the thing. He was
Right.
like the only guy getting a huge pop. And like so it was like, all right, well we're doing shows here. The ratings are not. Well, if we don't deliver to the fans, like they're screaming for this guy, we have to like give them something.
Right.
You know, so they would say, or else it's like the show that we might lose these fans. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, they delivered me, bro. It's like one of those situations where the guy had the people to the point that like, okay, now's the time to pull the trigger. You know, and it's like, and it was during a period of time where the ratings weren't good, but
Yeah,
like
but
he
then
delivered
after
to
that,
those
they
fans,
did
right?
nothing on with him.
Right.
They dropped the ball big time, bro. When you've got the luck that somebody's over that you weren't pushing, you capitalize on that.
Right.
And you continue to push him because the people are going to be happy that you listen to them. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? They gave him the belt. They I don't know if they did him more damage giving it to him and taking it away the way they did. Wasn't it Brock Lesnar destroyed him in a couple seconds or something?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Just killed the guy.
Right.
But it wasn't based on tenure. It was, if like Conan was right, if you watch the Elimination Chamber the month before when they started using him, the people were way into him and wanted him to get that shot.
Right.
Yeah, plus he was doing all that cool in those
In the
Royal
Rumble.
Rumbles where he lands, land on the apron and, do all this
And
crazy.
plus, let's not forget this was during a period of time where there was like people were kind of like, because this is when the social justice was coming in, people are like, well, they don't want to give it to him because it's kind of, I don't want to say it had a lot to do with it, but it was a part of it where there was this thing where people were saying, well, if they don't give it to this guy, they're racist. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, it's like, why are you keeping this guy down? He's getting pops and stuff like, which was kind of true, you know. But like, it's still the social justice narrative came into play during that period of time because, it was starting all this polarization and stuff, everything, and the social justice stuff was kicking in. They were like, they didn't want the heat, so it's like, well, let's pull the trigger, which was the right move. But what they did afterwards which is why the show wasn't very good, wasn't drawing, is because the booking wasn't good, So like, he was an anomaly, and I don't know if something like that will ever happen again, but yeah, there was a lot of stuff involved there, but bro, he deserved it. You can't say he didn't deserve it, He had the people, so.